Well, thank you, Linda, very much. And also, Linda, thank you for the work that you're doing in helping lead the association as chair of the board through this very, very challenging time. The association lives on volunteers. It is a voluntary association, and without the engagement of all of you in all of the activities of the association, we simply can't be successful. So thank you very much. I appreciate it enormously. It's hard to imagine sitting here looking at all of this, that it was in August of 1852, August 1852, if you can imagine, two teams, Harvard, Charlie, and Yale, had a rowing competition on Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire. Why they were in New Hampshire is a whole other story, but here they are in New Hampshire having a rowing competition, August 82, 170 years ago today. That was the first intercollegiate athletic event in American history. Two teams, I don't know, probably 10, 15 men on each side. Of course, it was a men's athletic program because that's who was going to college in the 19th century. And they row and they have a competition, and there are a lot of newspaper accounts on it. They had a great time. A lot of people came to see it and enjoyed this competition, and they decided to do it again and again and again. And you fast forward through 170 years of history to where you now have 520,000 students, not 20. You don't have two teams, you have 19,000 teams that now compete against each other. They don't just compete on Lake Winnipesaukee, they compete all across the United States, and indeed, increasingly even on global stages in competitions. What was launched back then on that lake has become not just an important recreational activity or entertainment activity that it was back then when it was promoted by a railroad baron of all things. It's become an integral part of American society. It's built into the fabric of American culture. Our events, our collegiate events, are the events that people want to be at either as athletes or as fans or as alumni, to be in attendance at, whether it's at the biggest stage possible, the college football playoffs of a week ago, just Monday, or, well, some of you wanted to be at that game, some of you not so much. But whether it's a college football playoff or March Madness is not as important as the fact that it's going on in all of our communities all of the time. The Monon Bell in Indiana, where I'm from now, you know, that is a D3 football championship, but it means a ton to those communities and those campuses. And you can't imagine life on those campuses without that kind of competition going on. And we need to remember, as we deal with what Linda and Governor Baker are going to talk about during these incredibly trying times, that college sports has grown and built itself into this iconic thing that in many ways defines American higher education. Defines it. It's hard to imagine an American campus without college sports on it. It's just part of who we are and what we do. We, everyone here, everybody that engages in college sports, have a stewardship responsibility to take care of this American icon, this public trust. In many ways, it is a public trust. Nobody owns college sports. It doesn't belong to anyone. We all get a chance to take care of it, nurture it, steward it, shine it up a little bit, make it better for the next generation or the next class of student athletes that's coming in to participate. I've been able to do that with all of you for a dozen years now. I'm incredibly proud of what we together, not me, we together and all of the people back on our campuses have been able to get done. We've seen massive changes. If you turn back the clock to where we were 12 years ago and to where we are today, there has been an enormous amount of good things that have happened. Whether it's in the nature of the health and wellness support that student athletes get, the way student athletes are supported from nutritional points of view, from financial perspectives, coaching, training, all the performance variables that are in play, and most importantly, the growing every year, every bloody year, improved graduation rates across all three divisions. Better and better and better and better. You saw some of the numbers. They vastly exceed the general population on our campuses with graduation rates. All of you have been able to accomplish that. And we need to be really, really, really proud of that's happened, because that's the real scorecard. That's the scoreboard we need to pay attention to, not just, how did we do in the team, or whether in the game, or how did we do in the conference, or what the national champion was. It's those measures of success of our athletes when they go out into the world that really matters. And we all know that because we're in this human development business, not just sports business. And that's what makes the difference for all of us. We find ourselves today at a place where much of that 170 years and 106 years of which the NCAA has been around under very serious challenge and even threat. We have done a lot to get it to here. And now we need to pick up that public trust, pick up that responsibility, that stewardship, and move forward with it. I am absolutely delighted that the Board of Governors has selected Governor Baker to be the next president. It's going to be a challenging role. You know that, Charlie. You know that this is not a cakewalk, anything but. But there are few things in the country that are more consequential to more people than college sports is to our citizenry and to our athletes. I haven't done the math, probably could do it in my head standing right here, about how many young men and women have passed through our universities as athletes in just the 12 years I've been involved, let alone 170 years worth of college sport experience. But it's a lot, and it's a profound impact on all their lives. And you all have allowed me to play some role in that for the past 12 years. And for that, I simply want to thank you. I want to thank you for letting me be a piece of this amazing thing called American college sports and the NCAA. And I want to challenge all of you to work with Dr. Livingstone, Governor Baker, all of the rest of the leadership, so that in a dozen more years, when Charlie's up here talking about it, we can have that same sense of excitement and gratitude for all that goes on for all of our student athletes. So with that, let me say thank you very much. I've loved working with this organization, and I'm really, really excited to see what comes next. Thank you all. Linda? Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you, Linda, for your leadership and for those very kind words. My dad would have liked them, and my mom would have believed them. As Linda said, I just finished 2 terms as governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. My last day in office was exactly 1 year ago today. My wife was, in fact, a gymnast in college. I was a basketball player. My brother was a baseball player, and we have 2 boys who played football. The Bakers are big fans and big beneficiaries of college sports. We believe in what it means, and we also believe in what it does. We've watched friends and teammates get to and through college because of sports. We know many young people who wouldn't have graduated from high school, much less gone on to college, without that tug of sports. Sports builds friendships, teaches young people about teamwork, hard work, and mutual accountability. It helps them build the confidence and discipline that oftentimes is foundational to their success. College athletics, simply put, is an amazing human potential development program. It's probably one of the best in the world, and it is very much in a state of flux. I'm not going to repeat what Linda's already said. I think she laid it out pretty well. But when people reached out to me and asked why I chose to take on such a difficult assignment, I told them that the challenges that face college sports and the risks that come with not addressing them compelled me to apply for and to accept, when it was offered, this position. That's because there's an enormous amount about college sports to celebrate. We should celebrate it, and we will. A lot, but there's much that needs to be done to deal with the issues and the challenges that are faced by college sports. Among other things, we need to tell our story and make sure the public understands the issues that are facing this community. They need to know what's at stake. We also need to talk more to one another, engage our elected representatives, and articulate how that changing landscape, left unaddressed, could have real and potentially devastating impact on the makeup and the future of college sports. I believe there's certainly a positive path forward here, one that deals with the issues that need to be addressed without diminishing much of what makes collegiate athletics so special. In some respects, that's the challenge and the opportunity. I also think we have lots of opportunities to improve the way we work together, to maximize the value of the NCAA properties, and to make sure that the benefits that accrue from all this work support our student athletes. As has been previously mentioned, I actually don't start with the NCAA until March 1st. That was like a final permanent thing with my wife, who's put up with 8 years of me being governor and a pandemic. But I did want to be here for this event so that I could meet as many of you as possible and I could hear from you. And I want to thank the people who've met with me over the course of the past few days. The student athletes, the college presidents, the athletic directors, and the conference leadership from divisions 1, 2, and 3. Your thoughts and ideas were just the beginning of what I know will be a valuable opportunity for me to get smarter and better, faster, when I take on this new role. March is 6 weeks from now. I look forward to jumping in with both feet and having a chance to work with you to make college sports continue to be the envy of the world when it comes to developing and providing support for and opportunities for young people. Thanks very much, and as I said, I can't wait to get started.